Good morning, good morning, good morning to each and every single one of you. Welcome to training this morning for the people, by the people. We're going to jump right into it. Hopefully, many of you have had a great weekend and are looking forward to this week. We only have 3 days left in the month, and then we're into the month of October. And many of you are having a fantastic sales month, but uh, I encourage you to push hard these last 3 days of the month. So let's get into some training this morning. What I want to talk about, the importance of understanding that this is a first call close. And I know it's very easy at times to resort to calling the customer back at a time maybe that's convenient for them, or a time that works even best for you. But the nature of this sale is, when you get that customer on the phone, you have the highest chances of closing that sale then than if you call them back. So your chances of closing the sale decrease drastically. So for example, if you take a lead, okay, and you take 10 leads in a day. The formula is 5 of them you won't be able to keep on the phone. This is what we've seen historically speaking. Now that does vary from agent to agent, depending on their skill sets and how quickly they can engage the customer. But the other 5 leads, you should be able to close 1 to 3 sales, putting you at a closing ratio of 15%. But if you don't close that sale the first time, you have to call the customer back. That closing percentage drastically decreases to under 5%. Uh, it's not because the customer really don't want to talk to you, or they really don't want the insurance. You got to understand the demographic of individuals that we're selling life insurance to. They're very busy people. They have kids, the grandkids, doctor's appointments, friends. They're up in age. A lot of times they forget. Okay, and not only that, it is the longer the time lapse from when you talk to them, in their own mind, they start to minimize and justify that I can go a little bit longer without this coverage. I can go a little bit longer without this coverage. I can go a little bit longer. And so when you do call, um, the willingness to answer the phone is just not there. I mean, you may be able to relate. You were maybe thinking about buying something, and it was never as hot as when that first thought came into your mind. And it was like, I need to get this, I need to get this taken care of. And then as time progressed, well, it's really not that important. Maybe your money get a little tight. Maybe you don't have the funds that you need. Oh man, it's not that important. And before you know it, I don't need it right now. I'm gonna look at that again in 3 months. Life insurance is the same way. you know Life insurance is the same way. The customers go through that same cycle in their thoughts, and so it's not anything out of the ordinary. And so when you get that customer on the phone, there's never a better time to strike than now. And I'm the kind of sales guy, I learned that starting this company 10 years ago, and went through a lot of leads and lost a lot of money to learn this, but I understand it now. And so that's why I'm telling you this. So when you're on the phone with the customer, you can be as aggressive and as assertive as you are as an individual. And this varies from person to person. I'm not asking you to go outside the parameters of who you are, but helping you understand the demographics of this business and how it works is going to help you get better results, to close more sales, and ultimately help more families and make more money. So when you have a customer on the phone, my mindset is this, and I've talked about this over the years, and I always feel like it's good to talk about it again. There's never a better time than now. And I know if I let you go, then the chances of you covering your family are going to be minimized to such a small degree that it's a strong possibility that you won't get this taken care of. And that's based on my experience. So when I'm talking to the customer, I'm saying today is the day. There's never a better time than today. And I'm using the alpha call control statements. Alpha was created by my partner, Vince. We used to just call it call control. I like to say that because alpha actually puts it in the right frame of mind that you can't let this customer off the phone, no matter how uncomfortable it is. And initially it is uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie to you, because a lot of times you can think that, hey, maybe you have a doctor's appointment coming up in 2 weeks, and they say, you know what, you called me, I'm interested, but I got a doctor's appointment. And then you naturally go to your own situations in life. And you're like, well, if I had a doctor's appointment, I would want somebody to let me go too. But you're not buying life insurance, so I caution you on that. You're not in that type of situation to have that type of thought. So I had to understand that, yeah, doctor's appointments happen. Family come over, neighbors come over and play cards. They have to go to the grocery store. They have to go to the bathroom. But life insurance is the single most important bill that I believe that you can pay, right? To leave that protection, that legacy in place for the ones that you have brought into this world and you spent the majority of your time with. So I have had customers reschedule doctor's appointments before to get life insurance taken care of. I've had customers miss the cab when the cab was outside. I have had customers you talk to me while they're going to the bathroom. I mean, I just am willing to accommodate them and help them, because I'm convicted that if I let you off this phone, well, I know the chances of me helping you are minimized because life starts to take over. But not only that, I've lost people in my life that I didn't know they were going to die, and the next day they're gone. So you just never know. You don't want to be in that position where you're calling a customer back and they say he passed away. And I've seen that happen on more than 30 different occasions since I've been running this business. I track that kind of stuff. So I understand that there's never a better time than now and today. And so when customers, especially coming into a Monday off a long weekend, when customers are on the phone with you and they're saying, you know what, this is important. That's the first word. That means that they're selling you. This is important. This is important. I know I need to get this taken care of. So, and then you buy into that and they say, can you call me back? Right there, they got you. So when a customer says to me this, I know this is important, I know I need to get this taken care of, then I say to them, that's right. That's why we're going to do it today. I don't say it because I know where they're going with this. And then people make promises, and count on your fingers. How many times have people made promises to you that they were going to answer the phone? And how many times have they actually answered the phone when you attempted to call them back? So this is extremely important. Okay, this is very important that you understand that this is the first call close. So let's talk about a couple other elements, okay, that makes this so. My audio went, okay, it's back. Okay, when you're on the phone with the customer, okay, one of the things that you have to understand is you're talking about medical questions. They're going through medications, okay. They're expressing and opening up to you about their medical history, okay, which is only good for now. Okay, applications are they have to be processed and submitted within 3 business days, or the voice signature isn't no good. Okay. Optical interviews are only good for 30 days. So when you have to do a third-party interview. So they open it up, give you all that information, so they get some thinking. Now, first the thought comes into their head, maybe I need to get some life insurance. But something triggered that thought. Typically, maybe the news, they watch somebody pass away, or maybe I get a phone call from a friend that say, you know what, such and such passed away. It could be as simple as, you know what, today I got to get this taken care of. They look at their kid's picture in the morning. I mean, something triggers the thought to say, I need to get a quote on some life insurance. And that thought that's triggered it a lot of times, and not saying, hey, you know what, I'm buying life insurance today. I'm gonna spend an hour and a half with David Hanna, and we're gonna go through the whole nook and cranny, and I'm gonna buy something. That's not what they're thinking for the majority of the time. But that thought comes in, and they get on the phone with you. Okay, and they thinking that maybe it takes 5-10 minutes to get a quote, but you're thinking like, I need to close this sale and help this person. So you first and foremost, your mindsets are not in the same place. So that means there's going to be a battle of one's will in this situation. And when that happens, you're going to be challenged, okay? Because they have a day probably that's planned that includes a doctor's appointment, a lunch with the grandchild, paying their bills, an afternoon bingo game, maybe a trip to the casino, and you're sitting here saying, okay, I got to interject into their day, or maybe watching soap operas. A lot of people like to get the soap scene when they get retired, sit on the couch, watch some soaps and eat some Doritos. But you're gonna have to interject into that day. Okay, so when you get on the phone with them, you get into that application and you get them thinking differently with the medical questions and the medications. You got to remember, the customer's like, wow, I didn't know. They're thinking in the back of their mind for the majority of the time, I didn't know it was going to take this long. I don't may have much time. And you're engaging them. But the more you talk about it, those thoughts that they're having, I don't know it's going to take this long. I don't know if I have enough time. They start to quiet down, because then what you're talking about starts to become bigger and bigger. And then they start to really focus on what's going on here. And before you know it, you have them. You have them entrenched in the conversation. And some of you are really good 2 hours, 3 hours in a call, and then you turn out to a sale, right? But that doesn't happen on every single call, right? It doesn't happen. But you can't let people go if you're going to get the best results, right? I train that when they hang up on you, you know that you're not really that important, and you got to get back with them later. Okay. So here let's get back to, you engage them, you draw them into this conversation about medications. Think about this for a second. And the customer's opening up to you. And so the iron is never hotter than it is now, because they're thinking about, wow, I had that condition, I had that condition. And then you ask them about people that they love, that they've lost. And then you talk about those experiences that you've been through. And now you're completely engaged with this customer. Okay. Completely engaged with this customer. So at this point in time, the customer's thinking about this at the highest level. They're no longer thinking about, let me get a quote and surface thoughts of, I need to get this taken care of. But now they're thinking about their own life, their own situation. So the fire is never hotter than it is right now for them to buy something, right? This is going to be your best chance to close the sale. Best chance by a long shot, right? But if you let them go, all that work you've done, all that you've opened up, you probably can relate to this. Have you ever had a situation, you talked to a salesperson about buying, buying life insurance before? I have. When I was younger, I talked to a guy, we talked about all this. I got all excited, but he couldn't close the deal because I wasn't buying today. He just couldn't close me. And then week went by, and my thoughts became smaller and smaller. The need wasn't as great as it was when I initially talked to him. I had minimized it in my mind, I had justified it. Well, I don't have any kids yet. I'm not actually married yet. Those thoughts start coming in. But the reason I was looking for a quote, because I wanted to get married, I wanted to have a family, right? But then I started driving those thoughts out, just like our customers. Well, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, this has been my best week, and the chest pain I was having has kind of went away, and yeah, but such and such passed away, but he kind of had it, everyone born to die. So they start justifying these thoughts. And then you call them back 2 weeks later. Oh, yeah. I'm not really, or 2 days later, no, you know what? No, I thought about this, and no, I can't do this right now. You're like, huh? What? Whoa. You thinking like we just had like connection, and we just built rapport on every level. And I mean, you open up to me and you're like, huh? Whoa, huh? What? And click, and you just like, but then you think back on that call. Okay, I'm teaching you something here. You think back on that call, it's like, man, he sold me. That's exactly what happened. Before he got off the phone, he was like, I really want to buy this. This is really important to you. I mean, many of you heard this. I know this by heart because I've heard it so much. Personally, I really wanted to buy this. This is something I really like you as a person. I really trust you. People start talking like that to you, they usually ain't gonna say, here's my account number. Oh, they ain't gonna say, here's my social. What they gonna say is, they setting you up with a call back. I remember, I'm getting off track here. It's so funny. I remember I was on a call and the lady was closing me something nice. I really like you. I really trust you. I was like, oh, she about to tell me she ain't buying nothing. I just knew that was coming. Nobody talks like that when they're about to buy something. They only talk like that after they bought something and you ask them, how did it go? Right. And so then I said to her, I caught her mid-sentence. I was like, I appreciate you being honest with me. And that's the reason I need your account number. Go ahead and grab your checkbook. She wouldn't grab that mug. She was so shocked. So I didn't let her finish. But anyways, I didn't let her say, I'm gonna have to call you back. I knew that's what I was going. She started singing the praises to me. They gave me nothing. I went right for the checkbook. Bam, got it. But anyways, and this is what your mindset is. You got to understand the customer. And I talk about understanding the demographic, understanding the customer, but it's also more about understanding the way their mind works, the way they think. And that's going to help you understand that, hey, now is the better time than now to get this taken care of. And so you're remembering that guy telling you that, and then you get your hopes up and you got to call back, you hoping, but it never turns out the way that you envision it. And now you understand why. If a person is 65 years old with no life insurance, think how many times that they've seen a situation, they've thought about it, thought about it, thought about it, even got a quote and never bought. It's probably been a lot. Okay, I've asked customers, how many quotes have you gotten since you turned 50? For life insurance? Oh, 20, 30. I get quotes all the time. I said, I asked, why haven't you did anything? Well, it just there's all these reasons. You just always tied to the money. So I understood that the customers are master procrastinator. I mean, they are masters at selling people procrastinating. And a lot of times people get peace of mind just getting a quote, because just getting a quote gives them peace of mind that, you know what, I'm making progress. You are making progress. That's better than you not getting a quote. But the real progress is made when you make a payment and you make the commitment. The quote is not you making progress. So I'm helping you understand our demographics. So when you're on the phone, it's not uncommon. It is not uncommon for people to say to you, you know what, I gotta go. I can't talk to you. Call me back. This is not uncommon. This is the norm. And that's why the alpha call control statements are so powerful and they work so overwhelmingly good. Because it tests the customer. When I created these, okay, early on, I understood that the only leverage I ever had in a conversation was the rates. Once the customer got the rates, then that customer had the ability to say bye-bye. So the rates are your ace in the hole. And you don't know how powerful that is, but I'm going to teach you something here real quick. Finish this up. When you use an alpha call control statement, this is just an informational call. It shouldn't take very much longer. Thank you for sharing that with me. Right? When you use these, that's a great question. I'm actually going to get to that in just a few minutes. I promise you. What you're doing is you're testing the customer to see how important this is for them. Because at the end of the day, if it's important, if it's a high priority, meaning that they're tired of putting this off, they need to get it taken care of, that's the customer we're looking for, they're going to play along with you and they're going to put the rest of their day on hold. We close 20-some sales on Friday. How many people put the rest of their day on hold on a Friday, right? It's because this was that important. But you don't get an opportunity to see that if you don't use the alpha call control statements. You don't know if this is something that they're willing to wait to get the rates for, or if they really got to go. Let me tell you, at the end of the day, they hang it up anyways, right? They hang it up anyways. But you don't give yourself a fair chance if you don't use those consistently. You don't give yourself an opportunity to test and see if they really do got to go, right? So the alpha call control statements brings out the truth in a conversation. It brings it out because think about it. I got to go. I really got to go right now. Thank you for sharing that with me. This shouldn't take very much longer. And they stay on the phone with you for an hour. That means that something you said, something engaged them, something changed their minds, something happened where they was like, whatever they had to go do was not as important. That's why they stayed. But if they say, I really got to go. I really got to go. Thank you for sharing that with me. This shouldn't take very much longer. And then they say, I got to go. I got to go. Click. Then you know they really had to go. Right? So you got people, I'm painting a picture that people have their priorities going into a day, but that can change based on the conversation you engage them with. And you have experienced that when you spend a lot of time with people, nobody has sitting around with an hour to spend with you. No, it just don't happen. But as the script is written in such a way from trial and error that it engages the customer, pulls them in and gives you the highest chance of implementing a first call close, which is the nature, the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the sale. I had a question that came in. I'm gonna see what this question is. Diane Spitz. The company closed 20 stuff, Diane, not one individual. So thanks for the question, Diane. That's all I got for you today. Just trying to stress the importance of understanding this is the first call close. There's never a better time than now. And I'm gonna piggyback on that and say this to you. If you're letting the customer go, hoping that they're going to answer the phone, it's a risky business. There's no better time than now to sell out. Go all in and trust the training. I say trust the training, trust the training, trust the training, because I know it takes time for you to come to that acknowledgement. But work with it, work with it. And I'm trying to help you understand mentally the mindset of the customer so you can understand why the training is so crafted in such a way to accommodate them in their current situation. Happy selling to each and every single one of you. Hopefully you got one thing from this training that can help you. Hopefully you got 2 or 3. That's awesome. But at least you get one thing that you can take into the day that can help you become better today than you were the day before. Happy selling each and every single one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.